Hi guys, I'm Judy DeLibra. I'm the owner of Figure Savers. We're an Ideal Protein clinic in Columbia, Maryland. And I'm here today with Lakeisha, who is one of our clients, and I'm very excited for her to share with us her weight loss journey with the Ideal Protein protocol. Hi Lakeisha, how you doing?
I'm well, how are you?
Good, good. So I just want to start out sort of with your statistics, right? Like how much weight did you lose, that kind of thing.
In total, I lost 134 pounds with
Awesome.
at Figure Savers following the Ideal Protein protocol.
Very good, awesome. And tell us about your journey. I know you wrote a success story and it was very nice. And tell us a little bit about that, like how you started. And
Okay, well, I have a dental connection with you where I was going to the dentist at your husband's office, and one of his staff who had went through Ideal Protein mid-year of 2013 said to me, "Gotta tell you about this program. I've lost a lot of weight." And I said, "Well, I could lose weight on my own." He says, "Well, I'm sure you can. But what I'm going to tell you is that this will get you to lose weight quicker and get you healthier quicker." And I said, "Well, let me try." I said, "Does it cost money?" And he goes, "Yeah, it costs money." I said, "Oh, well, I have to budget for that first, and I'm going to try on my own to see if I can lose weight. How much weight do you think I could lose in 6 months with this program?" And he gave me like a number, and I said, "Well, if I lose more than that, by the time I come back from my next appointment 6 months later for my my follow-up dental appointment, then I'm not going to do the program." I said, if I have not met that number that he had come up with at the time, that I was going to go to the first meeting and see what it was all about and then try to work on that. So the next visit came. I was, I don't know, maybe 2-3 pounds lighter than the conversation that had happened 6 months earlier. And I had been working at it, I've been in the gym. I think I did a lot of thinking. And I thought maybe my brain activity would cause me to lose a little bit of weight. Unfortunately, that didn't work.
Okay.
So I went to the informative meeting, the orientation that you had, and saw a lot of things that I could relate to. But as I was sitting and looking at all these things and thinking about how my parents have health-related issues that I could in fact have soon because I was technically morbidly obese. That's the label that you get when you're over 300 pounds and
Right.
you're 5'8". So I was like, okay, I don't have a lot of time. I need to start thinking about what I can do to not end up being in that hamster wheel of being on meds. I had not been on any meds. I had pretty decent blood pressure. The only number that was bad was my weight. And so with that, hitting close to 40, I didn't want to let anything else change. I love not having to take meds. I love, all of the fun of being able to enjoy life without having to be concerned about, anything. So I wanted to take that time and try to see what I could do with the program.
Right. Very good. Awesome. All right. So how did this journey start for you? What was it like do you remember the first couple of weeks? And
Yeah, the first couple of weeks, I think because everything was on a piece of paper, I read through it, but there was still so many, it was kind of cut and dry. It said, eat vegetables, do this, do that, but you had to go to the grocery store, you had to kind of plan things, and a lot of my family members would go, "Well, everything's coming in this silver packaging. What are you going to do with that?" And I had known other programs that had packages. So I was like, I don't know. I'm going to have to try to figure this out. So I think I started with some drinks and I think it was a pancake or something like that. But you guys had given a sample. So that first sample pack had a lot of things to choose from. So went through that, and I believe I actually had gone on a vacation to DC. So I was out of town and I was trying to figure out this new program, read the sheet of paper, and just stay compliant, because I think the vacation was like a impromptu type thing, and let's just go to DC and do all this stuff. So I had this bag of silver packets. I was gonna not even be at home, so I did a lot of salads.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing that was my go-to was the cereal packet. because when I was out of town, all I needed was water and like a plastic cup. So I knew that every morning I could have that breakfast, and I knew I wasn't gonna go off too far if I made that something that was regular, no add-ons and anything like that. So I got through that week. We did the vacation, and with the vacation, I came back and I had lost like I think 15 pounds.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh. so I was like,
So that was better when you tried it on your own for 6 months.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I totally obliterated the 2 to 3 pounds in 6 months thing that happened before. So I was encouraged. And then as time was going, this was like in 2014, I went through a span of time where I just followed everything. I like to cook, so I found a way to incorporate cooking the packets and preparing them ahead of time. I would write everything down at the beginning of the week because if I knew in my regular life if I didn't plan, then I probably would have a lot of opportunity to do things that weren't gonna fit.
Right, very good.
The problem with being out and about, being a single mom, being all over the place, you're gonna get tired and you're gonna want to stop somewhere. The nice thing was I was able to maintain my coffee. I don't want to call it an addiction, but my regularity of drinking coffee. I drink coffee quite often, which I was able to still do. I just had to drink more water, and being that was my only 2 options for drinking, I was like, oh, for every cup of coffee, I can definitely drink a bottle of water or more, and I went with that. So that first year, I only was able to get through 4 months, but in that first 4 months, I believe I lost around 40 pounds.
Yeah, very good.
The second year, when I came back in January,
So you stopped after the 40 pounds.
Mhm.
You stopped doing the diet.
yeah, I said I would like to phase off. And so I phased off, and I didn't gain all the 40 pounds back in that 8-month span. So at that point, it sort of clicked with me that this was something that was consistently going to be something I could maintain. So I went back in January 2015. I almost had a repeat of my 2014, where I went for about 4 or 5 months, lost another 40 pounds, and then proceeded to phase off because I needed to, and then came back the following year, which was 2016. When I came to see you in 2016, I said, this is it.
This is it.
I'm not going to stop until I reach a goal. And about 3/4 of the year into 2016, I think I met that first initial weight goal. And then I said, let's do more.
Right.
So, because I had never in my life been as small as I was as an adult. I had been, I'm 42, and I had never been less than what I am right now in my whole entire adult life. So I had no comparison.
Yeah.
I was used to the normal of being the size I was. I used to, when I was younger, I wore baggier clothes, and I think I started fitting into them.
Yeah.
I've always heard that if you start with at least losing 10 to 20% of where you're at, you're always gonna have progress. So with that, I just kept on going. So my next goal ended up being about 40 pounds lower than the initial goal that I had. And so with that, I got there, and I phased off this year in April and celebrated my 42nd birthday being a healthier person.
Yeah, very good. That is awesome. And then tell us, so what kind of outcomes have you had since losing the weight? How's it changed your life?
I noticed I apparently had knee problems because I was heavy. I didn't know that before. I just knew I had knee problems. My father had knee problems. I happen to have a interesting kneecap. So it's always been kind of loose, and the doctors never said anything. I haven't had knee problems for about 1.5 years. So just getting the initial 80 pounds off allowed me to, have a different comfort zone. I could step out of my car and not, ruin my ability to walk freely for, weeks and weeks at end. So that was a health-related issue, a weight-related issue that only came to light after I turned around and lost the weight. The next thing was I found out that there's these stores with massive amounts of clothing. And this is new for me. So I'm like, this is why everybody loves to shop. But then I had to retreat because I said there's too many options. So I'm still learning how to shop in stores. I've been able to pull things off the rack, not go into a dressing room and try it on.
Yeah.
Now I go try things on and they might be too big.
Wow.
And I very rarely experienced that. I am finding that as I've gotten older, I've realized that they sell a lot of things that are short. And as my size got smaller, the clothes got shorter and shorter. And I said, okay, now I'm going to have to find the manufacturer, the business that sells something for my age group. But I'm so comfortable in the things that I'm able to buy and having those options, looking online, being able to buy things, get it in the mail. These are not things that I've been able to do. Before, mail shopping was done simply because they did not offer my size in the stores. The other thing I've been able to do is walk on heeled shoes, 2-inch heeled shoes, for the first time without having to take them off. I could go the whole entire day with them on, and I never got the opportunity to do that before. I thought it was just like, I have to be the only person. I would see heavier women in shoes, and I'm like, how are they doing this?
Right.
I would have to go and get a pair of sneakers or get a pair of flip-flops and have them really accessible in order for me to enjoy, a fashion moment.
Right.
So those were some of the major things that changed for me.
Yeah, very good. So tell us, what would you tell someone who's considering doing Ideal Protein, but they're just not sure?
What I found with Ideal Protein was that I learned a lot. I learned how to really take care of myself health-wise, to incorporate a healthy lifestyle into my day-to-day life. So one of the reasons I would say somebody should go with Ideal Protein is because they would learn how to not end up going back to where they started.
Right.
The thing that also is a concern is people go, well, how do I incorporate this into my family lifestyle? Because they're not trying to lose weight. I said, it's very important for you to think about the fact that the things that got us to the weight that we are going to be the same things that can get your family members to those weights. So you learn from the program. You don't necessarily have to have the whole household on Ideal Protein, but what you do is you show them that, hey, there's vegetables they had never thought about eating that you can start having as a part of your norm. And so there's a lot of creative things that we've been able to do to incorporate a healthier lifestyle. But the biggest thing for me is, of course, people ask about the cost. The cost is what the cost is. You hear it, you decide whether or not that's something you can do. But my belief is you invest in yourself so you don't have to have the health issues later. I did put some money out. It was the best investment I've ever made in my life because now I'm a new person and I'm doing new things and I'm experiencing life in a way that is well more positive than I was before. So the expense is temporary. The healthy lifestyle is infinitely a part of your life until you pass on. So why not have a good life? Put a few dollars out, put a little energy in. Don't have cheese for as long as you need to not have cheese. Guess what? I have cheese now. And my whole body didn't implode because I had those restrictions. So it's well worth the money. It's well worth the energy to learn more about how food affects you. I learned a lot about how carbs affect me. Yeah. And with that, I feel very comfortable in knowing that any of my health issues that will happen in the future are not going to be related to the food I consume. It's going to be for some other reason. And so whenever we can do something and add value to our own lives, why not do it?
Absolutely.
My mom lost 26 of these. And I'm so proud of her because this is 5 pounds of fat. She did that 26 times.